nervous, guys.
Whoa! Yes! We did it!
Basshead family, what is going on? Parker the Basshead here. And of course, this is my 2002 Chevy Tahoe that we are going to be doing a big audio bass build-in. But I got this guy for a really good deal, which of course means not everything works as it should. Actually, quite a lot doesn't work as it should. So of course the question is, will I spend more money on the audio build or more money just getting this thing running? Stay tuned to find out. But anyway, as I've mentioned in some previous videos, I believe the fuel pump is bad on this thing. It turns over, but it just won't start up. Now, guys, I mentioned this in a previous video, and a bunch of y'all left me some really, really great comments of some really, really great tips. And I just want to say I really, really appreciate it. A bunch of y'all were afraid that it was not the fuel pump, it was something else. Maybe a relay, maybe a fuse. That being said, guys, I have done testing. That is not the case. Definitely the fuel pump is bad, and I'm going to show y'all why. Right here is where the relay and the fuse are for the fuel pump. Now, when I first bought this, y'all, I tested every single fuse just to make sure there weren't any fuse issues. So this 20 amp fuse right here is the fuse for the fuel pump, and it's just fine. Then, of course, we have the relay over here for the fuel pump. These things are known for going bad, so y'all, I did swap it out with another relay to see if that was a problem. It wasn't a problem, but I didn't want to stop there. I wanted to make sure. So if we pull this guy out, the way this works is that this pin right here is your ground. So I tested it out. The ground is just fine. This guy right here is your constant 12-volt power. I tested it. We're getting 12 volts beautifully. This guy right here is your switch 12-volt power. So when you turn the car to the on position, you'll get 12 volts from there. So to test that out, I ran a wire from that terminal into the car where I had my multimeter, turned the car on, and y'all, that went right to 12 volts as it should. From there, the way it works, guys, is that when it switches on, it pulls the constant 12-volt power from this guy to this guy, which is what it sends to the fuel pump. So since we know that 1, the ground is good, 2, the constant 12-volt is good, 3, the switch 12-volt is good, that would mean that the relay would have to be bad if that was the problem, if it wasn't a fuel pump problem. So what I'm able to do, guys, is I just jumped a wire from the constant 12-volt to the end that runs to the fuel pump. And when I did that, what do you know, guys? The fuel pump did not turn on. That means we either have a wire issue between the fuse box and the pump, or just the pump is bad, guys. And 99% of the time, y'all, it's definitely going to be the fuel pump. This has got 200,000 miles on it. These fuel pumps are known for going bad, so I'm pretty sure that's what the problem is. If we put the wire into the constant 12-volt spot, and then we put this wire into there, that should create a connection. That is sending 12 volts to the fuel pump. And of course, guys, as you can hear, the fuel pump is not going. Says if you want some great deals on some awesome equipment, it is that time of year. Now, Alfred Audio is running their holiday sales from November 1st to December 2nd. So if you want to jump on some great deals while you can, go check out the link in the description below. There will be tons of subs, amps, and speakers on sale at some really great discounts. If you've been eyeing some of the awesome Apocalypse subs, sport amps, Avatar equipment, then now is your time to grab that while the prices are low. Y'all know I love great equipment, but I also love getting it at a good deal, and that is exactly what Alfred Audio offers. Their equipment looks incredible, top tier performance, and doesn't have to break your bank either. Of course, y'all know I love their subs. These Apocalypse subs have been great. I've also ran the Avatars in my 815s, big build that I did. Those subs took an absolute beating, took them to multiple shows, didn't have a single problem, and I couldn't have been happier. Once again, guys, really, really appreciate Alfred Audio for sponsoring the channel, for helping me do the projects that I do on here. They have just been such a huge supporter, and I could not be happier to have the chance to work with them. So if you want to go check them out, link in the description below. But y'all, that's going to do it. Back to the video. Also, real quick, guys, this was the passenger seat, which is actually in really, really good shape. I wanted to see if it worked. It does have a different connector than what's on the other seat, so I couldn't plug it into that one, but I ran some little wires over here. They're just ran off my battery bank, so let's see if this works. Oh, look at that, guys. Beautiful. Oh. Ah, perfect. All right, hey, we at least got one thing fixed. All right, in here for the seat, we have our ground wire. I tested, I know it's good. And then we've got our 12-volt wires over here. These are the constant 12-volt wires. They're good. Again, of course, the seats work even when the car's off, so there's no, like, remote wire, so should be good, guys. The only wire I don't know what it is this wire over here. It's blue with a black stripe, so if y'all could let me know what that goes to. Maybe that must have to do with the seatbelt or something. Not really sure. Again, hey, it doesn't matter. So long as these two wires work, I can wire them into the seat and at least get us going. Now, another easy thing that I gotta fix is this fuel cap. Just a pain to have it like this, so picked one up off of Amazon. Should get the job done. First thing I gotta do is get this fella out. Which I'm not exactly sure. Oh, there we go. Let's see if we can get this fella out. There we go. Okay, this should just click right back in, hopefully. Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll get that out. Hopefully this works. Ah, perfect. Yes, sir. Look at that, guys. Starting out the day with two simple little fixes. Now, of course, these are just me procrastinating dropping this gas tank because I don't really want to, but hey, we're getting something done at least. Now, guys, when it comes to replacing the fuel pump, there's really two options. The proper way is, of course, to drop the fuel tank, pull the pump out of there. That being said, that's a whole lot of work. Secondary way, guys, is to just cut a hole in the metal up above where the fuel pump is. Make yourself your own little access port. Now, I really considered doing that. Definitely seems like it would be easier than dropping the fuel tank. That being said, guys, that involves a lot of sparks. You gotta be really careful. One, you don't want sparks going into your gas tank, starting a fire, starting an explosion. Two, you don't want to nick any of the wires or hoses that are there in between the gas tank and the tub of the car. So, I don't know, guys. I think it's best I do this the proper way and drop the gas tank. Now, my Subaru has the same type where the fuel pump is in the gas tank. But on it, guys, they actually have a little access port that you just take out 4 bolts, pop that panel up, and then you can get right to the fuel pump nice and easy. Sure would have been nice if this guy was the same, but unfortunately it's not. So let's get the drop in the tank. All right, y'all know the gas tank under here, not terribly full of gas. I mean, it definitely has gas in it. I don't think it's super full, but I'm gonna remove the fill tube. I gotta remove those anyway, and then try to siphon as much gas out of there as I can so it'll be nice and light.
3 days later.
Getting those two hoses off was a massive pain. They were on there really tight, but the good old PB Blaster definitely came in handy. Once you get those off, you can take this guy out. This, of course, one acts as sort of a filter in the filler drain, but it also keeps people from being able to siphon and steal gas. But anyway, now that that's out, I can stick my siphon right in there, hopefully pump out any extra gas and make this tank nice and light. Now, there's no strap on this side, so that's not great. Of course, it sits up in there so it can't fall out, but we do have the strap on the back. I believe it's a 15. Let's see. Ah, perfect. Okay. So we're going to be able to take that strap out and then can lower the back down over here. Got blocks up front so that way the whole thing can't just slide out and fall and tear out my wires. Just set this guy right over here out of the way. Now I can slowly let this down. Maybe. Oh yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Sliding right down. All right, I've got my blocks repositioned just to be safe. Gotta keep it coming down super slow. Yes, sir. Oh, beautiful. All right, coming right down. Let's stop it. Got to go check all my wires. There's that fuel pump right there. All right, making good progress. We can now see the fuel pump pretty clearly. I do like the ring doesn't look too terribly rusty and chewed up. That's really, really good, but definitely still some work to get this thing out of here. All right, I've got it down. I've got my siphon finally working, pumping into this bucket over here. Did spill a little bit of gas, but nothing too bad. Got a good deal of gas out of there. This is a ticking time bomb though, so let's get this into the gas can. Oh yeah. Y'all, I am millimeters away from getting it out. Had to jack up this side so I can slide it forward just a little bit more. So that way I can get this part out. Once this is down, I can pull it out right here. All right. Finally got this guy out. Actually, not as bad as I was afraid it might be. And, y'all, I am so stoked. Look at this. On a lot of these things, these rings are just absolutely rusted to pieces. They just fall apart. This guy actually doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to spray it down with some PB Blaster. Then going to clean all this area up good. And then we'll try to open this guy up. Ah, looky there. Beautiful. That ring's actually in just fine shape. Okay, this is definitely not the original. We don't want to get any of this crud in there, and I'm also going to go ahead and siphon all this fuel out of there just so this tank will be nice and light when I got to put it back in. This is all cleaned off, ready to go, but I have ran into another problem. Now, the fuel pump that I bought has got, it's a little nicer one, metal top. It's got the original OEM stock connector on there. The one in the Tahoe was an aftermarket one that had this aftermarket plug. Basically, people will buy these, will come with a new pigtail, so you'll cut off the old one, splice in the new one, and then you'll connect it right up to this, which would be normally fine, except mine needs the OEM pigtail, so the one I bought isn't going to work. Well, I'm just going to put that back on there for now while I figure out what to do. Here's that aftermarket plug, and you can see right in there is where they spliced it in, so I guess it would be easiest for me to buy another one that had a plug just like this. Unfortunately, I had to run to Advanced, grab a CarQuest one. This one does have the right connector. Not always a big fan of CarQuest, but hey, I got to get this thing going. I'm going out of town for 2 weeks. I want to get this running before then so I can, make sure everything's good, order some other stuff I need, so this will have to do. Okay, just to test, I plugged it up, turned the car on, definitely heard it turn on, so it looks like we are good to go. Just to make extra sure, I just did the same thing with the old pump, and y'all, it did not turn on. All right, let's get this guy in there. We are getting so close to getting this done, guys. It's not even funny. All right, I always put a little bit of oil on my rubber gaskets just so that way they slide into place perfectly. Seems just to help them slide in and seal, not get pinched. Okay, that slides right in there. All right, sitting on there good. This will then sit right like that. All right, no matter what I would do, guys, the new ring just would not go on. I was able to get the old ring back on, though, and actually, it's in good enough shape. So, hey, that'll work. Guys, been a long process, but I think we're finally ready to put this thing back in. All right, just gotta stick the strap back in here. Then we can go around there and strap it up. I am missing the strap on this side, but we can always go grab another one. So now we can pull out this. Get this fella out of the way. I got my main two lines over here hooked up, and I've got the lines up there on top of the fuel pump hooked up, so I think we're good to test this thing out. Making a mess. Y'all, this is the moment of truth. We'll see if that fixed it or not. I did turn to the on position. I can hear the fuel pump turning on. I got underneath, made sure nothing was leaking. Did that several times to build up some pressure in the system, so let's see what happens. I'm nervous, guys.
Whoa! Yes! We did it!
He is running! Woo! It is insanely loud when you first start it up, but after it runs for a second, it did quiet down a little bit, so that's good, but oh my goodness, guys, I was so nervous. But hey, she started right up. We're looking good. Guys, this is huge. I am so excited. Hey, I knew the fuel pump was bad, but there could have been something else wrong with this. It was a big gamble buying it, and I didn't want to dump a ton of money into it until I knew I could at least get it started. And hey guys, she has started and she runs. That means I can start ordering some stuff. A few more things I gotta get fixed up and cleaned up before I actually start on the build itself. But hey guys, I don't even know what to say. I'm just so excited. Before we can get started on the build, we gotta rip out the rear AC, rip out a couple extra random little panels. Then I'm gonna put sound deadening down over the whole floor just to get that done and over with. Probably the floor, some of the sides of the main panels. I'm not gonna do the doors yet because I'm not 100% sure what all we're gonna do with the doors, but I really just want to get the floor done. It'll make it look a whole lot better. Get some of those wires and stuff covered up, make everything a little bit safer. Then I got to get a plug for that seat. We'll get the seat hooked back up. Want to make sure both seats are in there and they function. Having the seats in there will let me get my exact measurements for what I need, so that's good. You can order new inserts for these seats. Remove the old foam and leather, put new panels in, have it looking good as new. And I got to figure out what to do with all these extra wires that I don't need anymore. I don't want to cut them quite yet just because, you know, I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to cut something and then realize I wanted it or needed it, but don't really think I need any of this though. Decided to throw the front seat in that way I can drive it around, see how it does. Y'all, it is so loud, I've got to get some mufflers put on this thing. It's ridiculous, but hey, at least it runs. Runs okay, I guess, guys. So loud, but gets the job done. Let's see if the four-wheel drive works. Sounds like it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Pulls up there perfect. Pop it out. Ah, felt it go. Okay, I've got no lights, so I don't really know what I'm in, but I think I got it figured out. Back it back up into here. Of course, another thing I gotta do, get rid of the squat on this guy. I think I can just throw those back springs in there and we'll be all right. Y'all left me tons of really helpful comments in the last couple videos. Really helped me troubleshoot some things. Helped me just get this guy done, and I really appreciate it. And guys, I am so stoked that doing the fuel pump actually fixed it. Basehead family, thank you for sticking around this long. big things to come now that we have this guy going, so please stay tuned. That being said, gonna wrap this video up. Thank you all so much, and remember, as always, guys, keep basing on.